I need focus, right? Because you get more of what you focus on.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh. So I have a trader here who has some issues. His challenge is that he has a lot of things. Number one is my stops are too tight, and I'm trying to find the holy grail strategy. I haven't found my strategy yet. I haven't completed my back testing yet. I know I should. I've got no data that I'm recording. I don't like drawdowns and low win rates. I have a lack of confidence in my strategy because, of course, he doesn't have one. He's really in the cycle of dooms. He's tried lots of different strategies from YouTube. And due to not completing my back testing of up to 100 trades, I just don't know how to trade, and I don't have focus, and I've got too many distractions away from my trading. So what do we say about this guy? Got a lot going on.
Yeah, I got a lot going on, and it sounds like they know what to do, but they just don't want to do it. So, I mean, the initial thought is maybe you don't really want to be a trader. Maybe the idea of being a trader is sexy, but you don't want to actually do it. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not saying that this person is, but that's a possibility. So, consider that. And then if you really do want to do it, then then you have to figure out, you have to do the work. You have to put in the time and prove the system. It's like if you were going to be like a professional bungee jumper or something, right? You would want to like put all the steps in place. You would want to have all the safety mechanisms in place, and you'd want to practice. You want to do that over and over again because your life is on the line, basically. But like with trading, people lose some money and they're like, whatever. But if it was a more dangerous situation, you would want to practice more. So you kind of have to look at it that way. It's not that it's a dangerous situation, but just take it more seriously and do the back testing, do the steps, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's simple but not easy, right?
Yeah. What's interesting, when I spoke to this trader, and I think it's interesting because he was saying he had discovered this thing where you could like attach your account to someone's trades, and he goes, could it just be that easy? And it kind of that and what you were saying about like, does he really want to trade? I think deep down, everyone really like. We can convince ourselves that we love the markets and we love the action and we love the charts and all that, but in the end, it really is a means to the end. I think for just about everyone, like 99%. You know what I mean? Probably, yeah. But so that's true. So in that sense, he's just like you and I. But what's interesting is that was a really attractive idea for him. That plugging your account in, and that's exactly what you were saying. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot there's that is the underlying theme, isn't it? That like, okay, I know what to do, but I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
And he was like, well, I'm only going to I feel like he's right, because he said I've got too many distractions going on. So he said he had like a whiteboard in his office full of trading strategies that he had to backtest, and he hadn't started on any of them. And he didn't want to buy any software to do it. He wanted to like do this manual thing. I'm like, okay, dude, you're in for the long haul. You know what I mean? Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, you can do it, but it's just you've quadrupled your time. You know what I mean? I can get on my strategy tester, my back test, Forex tester, or Naked Markets software, and I can do that this weekend. Like I can bust out 15 years this weekend. How long is that going to take you? You know what I mean? So it's like a trade-off, like anything. So it's like I can take my car to the car wash where these guys are going to wash it by hand and make it look really nice, right? Or I can throw $20 and a sponge and the hose to my kids, and it's probably going to get scratched. It's probably going to get, you know what I mean? So it's a trade-off, man. It's like it costs 120 to $160 to get your car washed in Australia by hand by the crew, right?
Yeah.
And they'll do a good job. Or $20, and not sure what's going to look like at the end with my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's exactly, he's making the same decision here. So whatever is important to you, man.
Yeah.
So I know what I would choose, but it's a tricky tricky one.
Yeah, another thing that came to mind too was that it could be just a case of overwhelm. Like this guy's so excited about it that he's just trying to do all the things at the same time, and maybe he's trying to do other projects at the same time also, and he's just getting
Yeah.
overwhelmed with it, and that could be it also. So like we talked about on a previous podcast, just focus it down. What do you want to get out of it? Do you want to be automated? Do you want to be manual? And then just kind of go from there, right?
Yeah, and that reminds me of the story like that because he actually says not enough focus and too many distractions away from training. And so, and what you just said remind me of his line, and what you said reminds me of the story about Bill Gates's mother made an introduction with Warren Buffett, and there was like a reporter there, or someone was there, a writer or someone, journalist, and they said, "Hey, why don't you guys both write down what has been the secret to your success?" And they both wrote down, and they both and so Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are both writing it down, and they did it immediately. They didn't have to think about it. And they looked at each other because they knew that they both wrote down the same word, and the word was focus. And that was it, And it's pretty funny to me that that this not funny, but it's true. Like this trader knows I need focus, right? Because you get more of what you focus on. And so he knows that, but he's not letting go. He's not going to do that. Right. So that's the key, is to focus in on what you need to do, which is do the work, back test your strategy, see which ones are going to work for you. And then once you have those strategies, then you can start working toward live trading. So that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's also kind of key to point out that could be a personality trait. Like maybe it's not necessarily something that they have a ton of control over, or at least not yet. So maybe look into that. Look at ways to overcome some of those, so-called ADD type like proclivities, right? And try and work through it that way, because that's maybe just how you're built. You like to jump between things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to learn how to manage it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and there are hypnosis tracks and subliminal tracks that will help people. They're in that kind of a boat, So yeah, so if you know that you hop from thing to thing and do that, there you can yeah. I mean, it's something. The good news is it's something you're aware of, but you need a plan to work around it. So it's like it's like anything. Like if you have an addiction or something, you have to have a plan to beat it, right? You can't just go, okay, today I'm gonna cold turkey. That's it. You it's like. Yeah, you gotta work at it. You gotta have a plan to hit it from different angles, and So
I actually read this one book that was interesting. The guy said that if you're that type of personality, you actually have to set up these like almost workstations, and so you have one project here, one project here, one project here. You do this one for a little bit, and then consciously jump to the next one. Otherwise, your brain will like short circuit on that first one. Right? So that's something to look into also.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like that's what people like. People probably heard of the NLP stuff, neuro-linguistic programming. They use they kind of use so it's like a cue, right? Like what that guy was saying, the book you read, he was saying like you're basically using your environment, and you're anchoring that to the work or to the project or whatever, right? So like if I want to work on my bike project, I do that in the garage or whatever. I want to work on my writing my book, I do it at the kitchen table. Or I want to work in my trading, I do it here in my office, or you know what I mean? Like you do that, right?
Yeah.
And so with neuro-linguistic programming, you do the same thing, where like what you can do is you go, like, imagine you're in a really good state of mind, and when you're analyzing your charts. Okay, so you're like really focused, you know exactly what you're looking for, and you're just nailing it, and you're nailing it, and you want to repeat that. So what you do is you pinch, like the example, pinch your earlobe, right? Really, so it almost like hurts, and then you go, I'm in my perfect, charting analysis state or whatever, and then you pinch your earlobe, right? And then the next time that you want to get in that state, you pinch your earlobe because you've associated that state with that. You know what I mean? So it's a way to it's the same sort of a deal where you're, associating environment with the work or the project. You associate that physical feeling with the mental state. You know what I mean? And so that's a way that people use that as well. Or like if you have a really good speech or something and you want to be able to, like, you had a really good speech and you want to, you were confident, you nailed it and all that, and you want to be able to do that again. So that's what the kind of, those are some of the hacks that they have in NLP for people that are interested in that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this performance coach that I read his book, and he coaches like these big hedge fund managers, and he uses something similar except with smells. So he brings in like these, essential oils or whatever, and he has them smell it when they're in their peak state, and then when they want to get there, he has them smell it again. So
that's great.
Yeah, all kinds of tools to do that.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what it is. It's anchoring, basically.
Yeah,
you anchor that. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, Walter.
See ya.
See ya.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.